Hey guys, welcome back to this set of Linear and Roro for ADV Cup. Very, very deep. This is Game 2, and Linear did win Game 1. In real time, we're only about maybe 2 to 3 minutes after the conclusion of Game 1. And here we are, not wasting too much time, getting right back into it. Linear with his lead Milo, which I've seen him do a number of times. Usually when he does this, and Roro may know this, it is a hypnosis Milo, and it is the segue for a physical offense team. Roro may or may not be aware of that information, and he may or may not play around the hypnosis here. Definitely does not want to get his Metagross hypnotized if he chooses to stay in and get greedy, which Metagross could do if he has something like Toxic or Explosion, maybe Thunder Punch. Doesn't seem super worth it, but I mean, he also may be thinking to himself, what the hell is Milo going to do to me? Milo very well may switch here. Metagross not afraid of Surf. Realistically, I think Metagross should switch here, but he might be going over the various status moves that Linear could have in case Milo does stay in. He obviously doesn't want to switch something like a Zapdos into a Toxic or something like that. He also doesn't want to switch something like a Lax in to a Hypnosis. Roro decides to simply go turn 1 Boom, and for the second game in a row, Linear has brought Heracross. Seems pretty high on that Pokemon at the moment. That is obviously not going to survive Explosion, and we have ourselves a turn 1 trade, resulting, of course, in a 5-5 situation. Looks like a balanced team from Linear this time, who's playing on the All My Prehensile Trunk, if you guys hadn't caught on already. And Roro on the bottom is, of course, McMegan. He's got a T-Tar follow-up, and it's a Celebi here. Tricky situation here. Has to worry if you're Linear. Does he have Crunch or Pursuit? Does he have HP Bug? Can I stay in an HP Grass here? I mean, the easy play, if he has it, is to simply Baton Pass out. That is absolutely the thing to do if you're Linear, if that's an option. It gets around all those problems. Crunch and Pursuit don't matter. HP Bug doesn't matter. But he may not have that option. He goes straight Giga Drain. Is that a Super Celebi? Usually it's HP Grass instead of Giga Drain. Usually when Celebi has Giga Drain, that means he has HP Fire. See what happens. It looks like a physical or mixed offense team from Roro. He's going to curse up here with his Lax that comes in. Leech Seed missing annoyingly. And he doesn't go for it again. I'm kind of surprised. Linear plays around the self-destruct there. I guess he thinks his Celebi is valuable. He didn't want to stay in and seed again. That's why he went to the normal resist in Rachi. He wanted that to get blown up on with self-destruct instead. But it was just a body slam at +1. And it's going to be another curse for Lax. Rachi straight Psychic here, 19%. Not going to get it done. Earthquake very dangerous if he has it. Here's Psychic from the faster paralyzed Jirachi. Does get a Specs drop, which is a 20% occurrence thanks to Serene Grace. And there's 35 on Shadow Ball, and in fact, Linear was right. He does have Self-Destruct, but it's going to end up simply trading with the Jirachi. So the Celebi that Linear was oh so careful to save is in fact still alive, and we'll see if that ends up mattering later in the game. This one moving very quickly. We're only 7 turns in. We've already had 2 boom-based trades. Got ourselves a 4-4. 5 unrevealed still between the 2 players, and both of them using up their clock here, figuring out what to do. For Linear, the safe thing to do is to go to Milo. We've ruled out that Celebi has Baton Pass. He would have done that in the previous situation. You also don't necessarily want to go Milo if you think that Roro is going to anticipate that, since it's a poke that he already knows about, and is going to bring out something like a Kun or a Zapdos or whatever, Jirachi, something that beats Milo. It's hard to know what they both should do without knowing their teams. If I had both their teams laid out in front of me, I could tell you what I think I would do in either situation. Okay, that's not a poke I was expecting. Jumpluff comes down for Roro, and this is not a friendly or an exhibition game. This is for real. It is for Cup, it is deep in Cup, and McMegan is the defending champ and down a game, so he is not fucking around. He genuinely thinks that Jumpluff is going to get him to the promised land. He is risking his title defense on Jumpluff, of all things. And he's going to go for the Sleep Powder, and he's going to miss. So Jumpluff is not off to a good start. As we suspected, Celebi does have HP Fire, which explains the Giga Drain. Sleep Powder does connect at this point, and it's going to catch a Claydol, which is probably a fine target because it seems very unlikely to me. I don't know. I was going to say unlikely that Roro has spikes, but, like, doesn't Jumpluff blow without spikes? Like, Isn't the whole point of Jump Bluff to force a bunch of switches and rack up spikes damage, kind of like Articuno? And Registeel is another one. Like, it's a great wall, but it has no offensive presence whatsoever. Doesn't that poke absolutely suck dick without spikes? But he doesn't seem to have them. He does have 3 boomers, and there's another trade via Explosion. So we are down to a 3-3 situation. We've got Boom Spam with Jump Bluff from Roro. Certainly not lacking in originality here. This cannot possibly be something that Linear thought about or prepped for. Who would, who could? One hidden poke for both of them. Neither one prepared to show. There is Milotic and Jump Bluff respectively. Remember that the Claydol is asleep, so he's not going to be able to sleep something else. There's Ice Beam from Milo, aiming at the 4x weakness of Jump Bluff. He's obviously not going to survive that. Substitute got broken, obviously, and now he has to figure out what to do. He's going to go to Last Poke Swampert. I would say that Roro is probably in some trouble. Jump Bluff does not beat Milo. Swampert does not beat Milo. Now, granted, this is not a standard Milo, so Swampert is not utterly hard countered by it the way that it would be by the Surf, Refresh, Recover variant, but the bigger picture issue is that Swampert has no meaningful way to damage the Milotic. Maybe he has Toxic, and the Milo almost certainly does not have Refresh, so maybe you could Toxic stall him out if you even have that, and if Linear even allows that to happen. Oh, wow. Goes for Swagger. Wow, this is some kind of team for Roro. We've got a Swagger Pert, a Swagger Endeavor Pert. We've got a Registeel and a Jump Bluff. This is what Roro decides to use with his title on the line. It's something. And the last poke is a very, very handy one here for Linear. He's got Dugtrio. Roro could have probably won the game, or damn close to won the game, had he anticipated that and gone for Surf and/or Hydro Pump, but that is a brutally difficult play to make. I would have tipped my cap and had my jaw on the floor. Had he gone for Surf or Hydro Pump there, somehow sniffing out the Dugtrio in the back, that would have been amazing. And it would have won him the game. But he made the mere mortal play that basically all of us would have made. It's really, really, really hard to Surf or Hydro Pump there. I don't blame him for going for the obvious endeavor, and unfortunately Linear had the poke that Roro did not want him to have. So now what Linear's thinking about is the follow-up play. Obviously you're not going to switch out here. Obviously Linear's going to kill it. He's just figuring out what move to use to set up the proper follow-up, because he doesn't want to get donked by the Tar, which has shown nothing whatsoever, and Tar is the only win condition at this point for Roro. Now, in theory, the 3 Pokemon remaining for Linear should be really good against Tar. You've got a Bulky Water, you've got a Rock Resist that's typically pretty good against Tar, and you've got a Dugtrio. So if it's Last Poke Tar, in theory, Linear has exactly the kind of setup that you would want to have, but it's not as good in practice. The Milo, it depends on the variant of Tar, but Milo does not always beat Tar, especially if it is a DD set. Some Rock Slide flinches can really change things. The Claydol is asleep and has not killed any sleep turns, so the Claydol may never wake up. And the Dugtrio, we'll see. The Dugtrio might get forced out here. I don't know that Linear is going to let it go. The obvious follow-up here, oh, just kidding, I was going to say he goes to Jump Up, but no, he's going to go to T-Tower, so maybe it's right here, right now, that he's going to start DDing up. He better have DD. It doesn't seem like he does. He goes Hidden Power, and it's super effective, so it's not HP Bug. That's HP Grass. So this is actually a special Tar, and I think that Roro's in some trouble. I think Linear is going to take him out here, and Roro is not going to defend his championship. He's desperate. He's going for the freeze here. Doesn't find it, but he's going to have one more opportunity to get it. And very creative team here. Salic Berry. Hats off for the originality. Oh my god. He gets the freeze. He gets the fucking freeze. There's the thaw. That would have been a highway robbery. Freezes it. Thing never thaws. And then you just beat it down with 20% HP grasses until death. That really would have been something. There's the encore. Maybe he can Leech Seed lock him. No, just shy. The Surf is going to do too much. Sand happens before Leech Seed. Had the Leech Seed kicked in first, maybe he would have had a chance in hell if every little possible thing went his way from there on out to simply Leech Seed lock him. But it is not to be. I applaud the extreme boldness and originality here from Roro. What a team. A Salicberry T-Tower, a Jump Bluff, an N-Pert with Swagger, a Registeel. That's something. But it's going to be Linear taking it down. He brought Heracross twice. He also had some weird teams, not as weird as this one from Roro, but certainly a bit creative on his end as well. And it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Linear over Roro. He will be knocked out of ADV Cup, and he will not repeat. There will be a new champion this year. Can't wait to see who it is, but I hope you guys enjoyed this live narration. I have had my dinner waiting for me this whole damn time, so I am going to eat it. But give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys soon with more content.